Hi again. I want to look at some of the symmetry tools we have in Photoshop. Normally we just straightforward drawing, scribble, scribble, scribble. You just end up with a general normal scribbly looking pattern. But certainly when you're using the brush tool, the pencil tool, and maybe the eraser tool, we've got option to some symmetry stuff. Hidden up here under this little butterfly icon at the top. If we turn this on, we've got a range of different symmetries: vertical, horizontal, dual axis, diagonal, wavy, circle, spiral, parallel lines, radial, and mandala. Going with the vertical one first, it throws in this symmetry line. So I'm going to select my brush, and then if I start drawing, what I do on one side, it does on the other. So if you're doing things like faces or whatever, you can get a twofer, which is pretty cool, especially if you spend a little longer trying to draw your image. Also, if you draw on this side, it works just the same. Let's just step back a few before we did that. What else have we got on here? Dual axis. Now this will do the same thing, but on two axes at the same time. Let's find a more interesting brush to play around with, because these things kind of come alive when you start getting a better brush. So we're going to start doing this kind of thing. So you're trying to make a surface pattern. It gives you all sorts of cool options. Obviously, you can keep changing your colours as you draw. Which is pretty nice. Obviously, spend a little bit of time, experiment with these things and see what you can come up with. Let's ditch that layer and go again with a new one. Now, interestingly, to get rid of these things, well, you can obviously change to different settings, but if you want to get rid of this thing, it's hidden over here in the paths, which is alongside the layer, and you can just drag these off into the bin to get rid of these. Okay, so let's have a look at mandalas, and we've got how many segments we want. So let's go crazy and go with 10. Is 10 crazy? Let's find a better brush too. Brush. What have we got? Oil, medium, wet, flow, and find a nice orangey colour. Now, depending on your computer, this might slow down dramatically. I just heard the fans spin up on mine, and you can see the lag we're creating now. Oh, look at it struggling to catch up. Yeah, I think my brush has caused all sorts of problems there. It's a complicated brush. Will this ever catch up? Will it stop? Talk amongst yourselves. Well, while the computer thinks about it. Whatever you do, don't use a really complicated brush if you've got an old computer. Oh, there we go. It caught up eventually. See, simpler brush, much faster. Let's just mess with my colours here and play with the line width. This is pretty interesting. Something else we've got hidden away in here, which is probably worth a tutorial on itself. Where's it gone? Smoothing option. Why are my smoothing options grayed out? Maybe it doesn't let them use them on this. We'll come back to smoothing, but and let's ditch my mandala thing, and we'll do it with less sections. So let's try it with 5. So that's okay. That pick a brush again. And you can very quickly start coming up with a really interesting pattern. I'd be inclined to build this up on many layers, because then you've got the option of undoing stuff and changing how these things are. How these things interact with each other. Look at that, that's pretty stylish. So I can ditch that, and then I can kind of carry on working. Now you'd be able to use this on top of a photograph if you're so inclined, but mess around with it, see what you can come up with. Thank you for watching.